Coming in at $229 on the left-hand side here is the Remarkable Type Folio for the Remarkable Paper Pro. Now, I'm gonna show you in today's video how it works, but I also wanna make sure you understand the value proposition here, because at $229, you might be thinking, that's a lot of money, is it worth it? And my conclusion is yes. That yes falls into a certain set of requirements, and I'll talk about those here in a moment. On the right-hand side is the leather folio, the standard folio for the Remarkable Paper Pro. And as you can see, they have different fabrics, right? This is a leather material, this is a nylon, but they look really similar. You have a Remarkable brand on the top, you have your magnetic clasp on the right, and also on the back, you have this really nice, we'll call it a sheath or compartment, that's also magnetic. So the design language is the same. This is relevant because if you want to do some typing, maybe 20% of the time, 10% of the time, you may be fine with just the keyboard and not the regular folio. For me, I prefer the handwriting. I've been using both. Most of my time has been with just the handwriting, so that's because it's more conducive to my use cases, which I'll walk you through. And I've determined that if I were going to do more typing, I would actually be fine with just this, okay? So, just like with the regular folio, you can remove it, and it installs or inserts exactly the same way. You have your 4 magnetic feet here, you have those pins at the bottom, voila. And now you have your folio. So functionally, these two are, the nylon one here with the keyboard has the same effect as the regular folio, but it has this sneaky little feature that I think is so smart, and that's the keyboard. And look at how you access the keyboard. It's hidden away. So the keys, instead of folding the Remarkable onto the keys, you don't have to worry about that. There's no chance that the keys are going to crack or scratch or blemish your display. There's no chance the oils from your fingers are going to get on your display. And if you have an iPad with a Magic Keyboard, as I do, you know the pains I'm talking about. Heck, if you own a MacBook Pro, you know the pains that I'm talking about. Not that it's exclusive to MacBooks, but it's sort of a common theme. So anyhow, you get this really nice keyboard that's just sort of tucked away, so you don't have to use it if you don't want to. You can fire this up, enter your password, do your handwritten notes, close it back up, and off you go for your day. But where I found the keyboard helpful in my use cases is after meetings and on airplanes. So it's not uncommon for me. I wouldn't say I procrastinate, but let's say I plan for things as I'm getting there. So I've noticed that when I'm on an airplane, it's not uncommon for me. And by the way, I'm flying to a business meeting. It's not uncommon for me to pull out my Remarkable and to start taking some notes. Maybe transcribe an article about, say, economic trends into a page for my customer where I'm just taking some notes. Oh, the trends are saying this. It's 3 paragraphs long. I'll condense it to 2 or 3 sentences or a few bullet points. And that way I'm understanding what I'm reading, and then I'm putting it somewhere where I can reference it again. That's not uncommon. What also isn't uncommon is that I may need to type some notes where instead of transcribing, I'm actually being thoughtful and I'm expanding on what I'm reading. So in that case, the keyboard was very helpful. I just fold this up or flip this up, fold this part back, and now I have a full keyboard experience. Now that full keyboard experience is complementary to the handwriting. So you can still mark up your page or PDF with your pen and then go back to typing. And don't worry about it being dark on an airplane, because these keys are backlit and you can adjust the brightness on them as well. So I'm gonna put in my password. I'll be right back, and then I'll show you some examples. So this is an empty folder, and I'm going to add a brand new template in here. And what you'll notice is when I press Notebook, I'm presented with all of my usual notebook pages, but in the landscape mode, not the portrait mode. And if I wanted to, I could look at just landscape supported templates. And then I could continue to filter down by creative or line based or what have you. I'm gonna go to planners. So let's say I chose a day planner template. Hit create, bang. Now I'm off to the races. I can take my pen and I could put in the day is Tuesday. I don't know why I chose Tuesday because today is not Tuesday. The time, I don't know, 10 a.m. And the date. All right, my handwriting's terrible today. So now I've got this entered and it's time to start typing, okay? So forth and so on. Okay, and perhaps I find one of these to be more important than the other. So I go to my highlighter, I'm gonna change the color to orange. Right, I think it's really important that I'm present at home. So I can highlight that and then just go right back to my typing. Let me get off of highlighter mode just because I'm OCD like that. And anyway, I'm right back down to typing. There we go. So you get that flexibility with the keyboard, but the interoperability with the pen. So for me, I think if you're someone who's going to type a little bit, you can get away with this. The leather folio that I showed you earlier, I love this. I love it because it feels high quality. I love the metal clasp, and it's just as thick as it needs to be. In fact, because it doesn't have a keyboard, when the Remarkable is in here, and it's shut, it's thinner overall than when the Remarkable is in the type cover case, the type folio, and it's closed. Which of course makes sense because there's a keyboard in here, there's an extra layer. But even still, it's not too thick. But what I really like, this is not an accurate representation because the Remarkable is not in here, but you kind of get the idea of the difference in thickness. But at $180 for this, $40 more, you get the keyboard. You can get away with just this. And I hope I've demonstrated that for you. If you have some questions about this, please let me know. For me, I'm sticking with the leather. I think that I don't need the keyboard all that much, although it has been helpful at times. But I love the handwriting feel on this thing. But it's great that Remarkable not only created an option, they did it with the same quality and the same design language they've carried forward on all of their products. So if you're looking for something that's a great keyboard, instead of, maybe instead of busting out a separate wireless keyboard, which is supported, you're looking for something that just kind of fits that style and that quality. Remarkable gave you an option, and you don't need both if you don't want to. All right, I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Cheers.